The Wham. I'm cruising to my favorite place before I go to work. Getting lunch. There wasn't much in the house. The weather has been beautiful. And thank God it's Friday. I've been working yesterday and the day before. I've been trying out this camera. It's called the QX1. It attaches to your phone. Oops. Green light. I'm distracted. Naughty. But you know, the iPhone, using a phone for your camera has advantages and disadvantages, and you know, when you can attach different lenses to it, it helps you take advantage of the sensor and the lenses that you're attaching, because this is actually a camera that communicates with your phone. It uses your phone as a back via the Sony Play Memories software. And they don't make it anymore, and I think that's a shame. I think it was a good idea. It's just, it didn't never really caught on, and it wasn't, I don't think it was fully developed idea. I think if I were to do it, I'd make it 4K and allow the video out, there to be a video out and audio in, and you know, keep the rest of it pretty much the same. The reason I've been going to YJ's a lot and making extra sure that I shoot video and document things is because YJ's is moving, so I've been told, by I don't know what you're honking at. By the owners and everything. You know, the building had been sold, and I won't get into the gory details as to why, but you know, it's been there for a long time, and I want to say that the owners of the building, Carol and Paul, are really, really nice people, and they've done a wonderful thing. Carol told me that she owned the building over 40 years. I'm like, wow. But they've done a wonderful thing. They provided the building cheap for artists, and that's really supported the arts in this area for a long time, much longer than it was even fashionable. And so they have to move on, and I wish them well, and I'm very thankful and grateful to them for what they have done. And YJ's is moving about, I guess, in about a month, 3 or 4 blocks away, pretty much in the same neighborhood. But I've looked at the location, and actually in many ways I think it's nicer, you know, and it's a nice spot, and it'll be good for it. Only problem, well, it's not a problem, is that you want to capture the memories of the old place, the old ambiance, because you know things will change, and change is inevitable. And so I wanted to be able to refer back to the old place, and you know, I like people to go, oh, that's what it was like, you know. Not that it's going to change fundamentally. I mean, all this stuff is moving. It's just that the old patina will disappear, and there'll be new patina, if that makes any sense. And so it's not a bad thing. It's just that I know that, you know, I'm an archivist, and I like to capture things as history. And if I know something is about to become a part of history, then I want to capture it as it was and remember it. I think that's important. And it's not as a lament or sadness or anything. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but you know, it's kind of like anything. You know, ultimately, the space that something is in is in and of itself an object. The thing that actually is what people make it. And it's the people that are important. And, the people aren't changing. The space is changing. And you don't need to put human qualities on a thing too much, or you create suffering where there is none. But sure, it's human emotion. You will miss the old, but things have to change, and there's a good reason for that, and it's not a bad thing. And everybody's coming to grips with that, and we're not just saying that kind of thing. We know. I mean, it's a bit of talking yourself through change, because change can be dramatic and traumatic in some cases to people. But change has to happen for things to move forward. And so, I pulled out the QX1 because some of the issues I've been having with the dash camera, and also I want to take advantage of the pretty lenses and use it to capture history in a way that's aesthetic, not just expedient, because sometimes there's a need for expedience, but sometimes when you're just doing things to be fast and cheap, it just comes across that way, and there's a need for the aesthetic element to come into play. And it looks like maybe I actually have no false alarm. I can tell you one thing I won't miss about this area, although I'm bitching and I found a spot. But one thing I will not miss is the parking has gotten to be a bitch. And that's just the area being a victim of its success. And people like Paul and Carol and David and others have made that success happen. Well, we're here, we're queer, get used to it.